Haul again. I know you guys can't see me. I'm going to do my favorite camera angle. Hope you guys like it. I know you guys love this angle. So, all right. So, I just want to cover a few things about how the mainstream media is really doubling down in their lies, like to the point where we don't really know what's truth anymore. You really, and I mean, I'm not the only one who says it. There's a lot of people saying it. A lot of people keep telling me, Reg, don't listen to the mainstream media ever. I say no, don't do that. I say do listen to the mainstream media for one reason and one reason only, and that is to see what they're lying about. Lies of today. Donald Trump is going to give security clearance to his son. Is that true? Well, apparently it's not. So why is the mainstream media running for that? Lying by omission. They won't talk about how Donald Trump is not going to take basically a salary for being president. That's $400. He's giving up $400,000 a year now. To a billionaire, that's not much. But when we look at it from a point of view of the gesture, I think again only 3 presidents in U.S. history forfeited their wage. One of them wasn't Obama. I think it was J. Edgar Hoover, and the other one was John F. Kennedy, and the third one is Donald Trump. So why is this important? Well, it is and it isn't. What's important is how the mainstream media is really doubling down on their lies, and why they're still trying to run it, the way they were, and think they're going to get away with it. Now, what we knew, that Donald Trump won the Electoral College and Hillary Clinton the day after was reported to have won the popular vote. Well, it turns out Donald Trump actually may have won both. Now, I know for sure he won both if you factor in all the dead people that voted and all the illegals that Obama gave amnesty to vote for, which I don't know if he could legally do that, but he did. So it's very, very clear that now that they've tallied it up, it looks like Trump has a slight lead. And I get this from the X22 report, so you'll have to investigate it because maybe I'm wrong. But the backlash that's coming is going to be against the people. It's always against the people when you really think about it. One of the areas where it's going to be against the people is, quite simply put, right now, remember Obama gave the United Nations the keys to the internet. Come on, it's not that big of a deal. Come on, you can do it. This Van Lake, it's poor Van. So Obama gave the keys to the internet to the United Nations. Well, I know things are going to happen fast. Right now, what they want to do is, because they're blaming the alternative media on, for Donald Trump's win. They're saying because of the lies of the fake media of the alternative media, the ones that are conspiracy theorists who always usually end up being conspiracy fact, but I digress. Because of that, they're going to have to crack down. They're going to have to vet. And again, who's going to be doing the vetting? This I don't know. And as well as I don't know who, everything's going to be just censored by bots, like the web bots and stuff like that. We've already seen it with YouTube. Again, the first round didn't work because they were taking out their own people as well. But it was just kind of one of those things where, it gets to the point where they just have to censor everything. It's going to get to that point. So one of the medias on this hit list is InfoWars. Surprise, surprise. I said InfoWars, if Hillary Clinton won, InfoWars wouldn't be around for the next, in 8 months it'll be taken out. Which tells you how effective it actually really was. Whether, I know some people, don't trust Alex Jones too much. Yeah, he's a sensationalist. There's always going to be gray areas on something. I mean, there's a lot of people. You're not going to agree. You can't agree with everybody 100% on everything. And there is so much distrust in the so-called far right, alt-right, whatever group you want to refer to it as. Right now, we're all being called alt-right. So, or neo-Nazis, one or the other. You can't be anything other than, if you're pro-Trump, you can't be anything other than alt-right or a Nazi. That's the mainstream media lie. For example, but where the problem is they have to shut these sites down soon, because when I was in town the other day, I walked in, I guess about 7 o'clock in the morning. Walked into a little side store in the mall to grab some stuff, and I can't remember if it was Radio Canada or which mainstream faction it was, but they're out there talking about Matt Drudge. Now he's linked to neo-Nazi groups and da-da-da. Like, I mean, it's just complete horseshit coming out of there. I mean, Matt Drudge, no. I mean, I don't follow the Drudge Report all the time or anything like that, but he's on the hit list. He's definitely on the hit list. And the thing is I don't think it'll work. You take out InfoWars today, 5 more, it becomes a Hydra, 5 more pop up. And if they censor it all together, well, it's not going to work. Yeah, it might work in China to a degree. It might work in Turkey to a degree. Like in Turkey, they can just shoot you if they disagree with you. I mean, they execute people there all the time. Maybe not all the time, but they can make you disappear. You can go to jail for religious freedoms. Well, you don't have religious freedom. You can go to jail there for journalism, whatever. This we know. And that's what the United States government wants. That's what your George Soros types want. And the Rothschilds, like David Rockefeller said, he wants every human being to be microchipped. Why these people need this much control, I'll never know. Like, it's just complete ridiculousness when you think about it. I mean, who cares to have that much control? But it's their hatred for humanity. It's the only thing you can sum it up to. They just hate liberty. They hate everything. And the satanic angle of it does seem to have a lot to do with it. Again, I'm not what you would call a religious person by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not what I believe. It's what other, people do crazy things for crazy ideologies. Some people believe in communism, some people believe in jihad. You know what I mean? Like, they're all crazy ideas. Or can be taken to the extreme, right? So, with that said, there's a lot going on that they have to do before Trump gets inaugurated. Now, they can still, if they could create a proper crisis, they can still steal this election from Donald Trump. But if it comes out that not only did he get the Electoral College vote, but he got the the popular vote. However, the Electoral College doesn't officially, the way I understand it, doesn't officially throw their hat into the ring on their vote until later on. So Hillary still has time to steal this. If you weren't aware, her and George Soros are meeting right now, I believe in D.C. to basically, in a nutshell, I guess going for a plan B of how they're going to steal this election back. But if Hillary were to steal this election back, okay, yes, they may have bussed in 5 people from one state to the other and have all these buses of fake protesters. These people aren't nationalists. These people, half of them probably didn't even vote anyway, just want a reason to riot. And being paid $35 a day to do that, who isn't going to do that? These are terrorists. Why are they terrorists? Well, they're terrorizing their nation. It's not legitimate protest. Maybe, there's probably a lot of them are, but those are the useful idiot types, right? So the ones that are legitimate, I have no quarrels with, as long as they're not damaging anything. But as soon as it goes into that realm of criminality, then you've got to kind of... you've got to kind of, look at it and say, something's got to give here. We have to restore rule of law at some point. So, do we go after all these protesters in the street, which puts a whole bunch of police officers in danger, a whole bunch of civilians in danger? Well, you might have to do some of that. Or do you look at who paid 200 organizations to go out and protest? Who's paying for these buses? I mean, a diesel bus burns about, $25 an hour to run a bus? So we're talking some substantial point to send buses, all over the place to vote, to do that. So, and George Soros is so linked to Hillary Clinton that, again, the plausible deniability of, can you prove this person set this person up to it? No, but you can make the connection that there's collusion. And just the suspect of it is why Hillary Clinton lost anyway, because, yes, we may never be able to prove all the things about her, because so many people are running defense for her. But anybody like Comey should be basically sent to Guantanamo Bay as an enemy of the state. Use their own system against them. I think if Trump gets power, he might be able to do that. Could you imagine if Trump had sent George Soros to get waterboarded at Guantanamo? I mean, I'm available that day if you want to torture him there. You know, I'm a nice guy, but some people, sometimes there's just principle, you know what I mean? And you got to do mean things. But, I normally don't call for violence, but when it comes to George Soros, if there's a legal way to do it, I'm available that day. Just so you guys know. If Trump wants to, if you want quality, Mr. Trump, you have to hire quality. You need somebody to pull some teeth and break some fingernails, crush his toes with hammers on George Soros, I'm available that day. Again, I'll still sleep good at night. I know what this man has done to you. The millions of people that have died, this guy, anywhere his money goes, death and destruction follows. That said, I digress. I'm not making any threats against anybody, but should that job ever come available, I'm just saying I'm throwing in my resume now. But that said, so we got Hillary Clinton and George Soros still going at it. I don't know where Henry Kissinger is sitting on all this. Could Soros and Henry Kissinger have had a fallout? That's a possibility. These are scumbags of the earth. I still think Henry Kissinger, I'm also available on that day too, just so you know. Bottom line is they have between now and Trump's inauguration, and this is what's indicating that he is the real deal. Is he going to be perfect? No. I think there's some areas where Trump is going to be a gray area. There's no doubt about that. But I think for the most part, I think he might be the real deal. Look at the doubling down of the mainstream media. They're terrified. New York Times comes out and says, we know we did some bad coverage in the election, during the election, but we're going to do it right now. We're going to be doing it better. We're going to be more honest now. It's too bad. You've already breached the trust of the people. Once you breach the trust of the people, you can't just take it back. You can't just say, oops, my bad. And lie after lie after lie, when they're saying, we want to make sure that these faulty news, and remember, under the NDAA, it is legal for the American government to propagandize the American people. Now, I don't know if we have something like that up here. I can imagine we do. But up here, we've already got journalists under suspicion here in Quebec. Where they're bitching about it in the House of Commons, talking about how, the freedom of journalism, that ceases. Again, no one's going to jail for it. You need to yes, people need to go to jail. You need to say no. The law is the law, and just because you run it, you're in the law, and you're an upholder of the law, you have to uphold the law. You can't move it into a gray area. You can't go and say, well, for the greater good, we did this. No, the law is the law. If you break that law, whether you're a law enforcement or a CIA or a CSIS agent or whatever, you should go to jail. Not just get fired, but go to jail. I can understand incompetence to a degree, but this stuff is not incompetence. This stuff is deliberate. And because it's deliberate, that's why you need to make an example of these people. The people are fed up with a corrupt system. We don't want to live in those systems that everybody else around the world lives in, that are just so, turned into these banana republics. And it happens so easily. And it is happening very easily. Now, that said, we still have a long way to go before we're, say, like Saudi Arabia or Turkey or China and stuff like that for liberty and freedom. So we have time, but we don't have much time. And we do see, one nice thing about this play that the world elites are doing, and I know I was going to shoot myself in the foot here, but if they do a shutdown of the internet and freedom of speech, although I lose my income, what we'll gain in liberty in the revolution will be phenomenal. The problem is most people are not everybody's ready for revolution, but they don't know where to direct it. And the thing is the mainstream media is still running defense for Hillary Clinton. Now, Trump, again, we can only judge this man on his actions. So what has he said about this MoveOn.org thing? Well, he said, look, all these people that are out there rioting and protesting, goes, I get it, you're upset, you have the right to riot, but, stop hurting people, just stop it. And he goes, I'm going to look right at the camera and I'm going to say, stop it now. If it helps, stop it. That type of thing. And he's right. So, the media is going to say, well, he's inciting all this violence. No, he's saying, don't do the violence. We're not supporting this. We don't want you to do that. That's what he's saying. He says it right into the camera. Now, Trump ditched the mainstream media. Apparently, this is like the second or third time he's done it. Where he said, yeah, him and the family's going to stay in, and they took off and went to a restaurant. And the media's like, oh, butthurt, because you didn't tell us we're going like that. That's against protocol. No, it's because you guys are douchebags. You know what I mean? He's going to pick his own media. And this could be where, but again, you got to watch out for propaganda. He could fight back for the alternative media very easily by taking your Matt Drudges in, taking your Alex Joneses in, He could do that very easily. I mean, it doesn't take much. Like, the Associated Press is dead and gone now. If they think they're going to get an interview with Trump, I mean, good luck. CNN, LA Times, good luck. New York Times, good luck. You fucked yourself. I mean, you didn't even try to make it look semi-non-biased. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. Like, yeah, good luck with that. So, all these other people, like, you just made somebody else's career by your own screw-up. So the mainstream media, again, lying. They not only lying, but just not talking about, like, all they're doing now is saying how bad his policies are going to be. But when you look at his policies, they actually look pretty good if you can pull them off. That's more what people that voted for him have a problem with is, will he be able to pull some of this stuff up? Nobody expects him to do everything. I mean, if he can pull off 1% of what he promised, that's going to be a pretty good 1%. I doubt he'll even get that far. That said, everybody that the mainstream media says is bad is if Trump is supporting them, they're a Nazi. If Trump is supporting them, they're alt-right Nazis, that type of thing. And if Trump is, he's firing people now. And he tweeted out, hey, look, he goes, I know who the candidates are for, who he's going to hire and who he's not. Now, there's a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. And the reason why a lot of these people are going to lose their jobs is because of what they did during the election. Now, there are some people that are going to maintain their jobs. For what reasons exactly, I don't know why Trump wouldn't fire them. But there's got to be a good reason why he's not. That said, until he picks his entire cabinet, we don't know. That'll be okay. Let's see who he's surrounding himself with. About his son, trying to get security clearance and his whole security clearance, top security clearance for his whole family. Apparently, that's about the story. So, if we were going by the mainstream media's new vetting system, they fail right there. I mean, these people have beyond the amount of resources, to vet things. There's no reason why they can't vet things properly, even in a short amount of time. Like, there's really, really no reason why they can't. And people are starting to see that. So every time the mainstream tells you something, they don't come around and tell you it was a lie, but as soon as somebody else said, hey, look, they lied, they just lied again, and again, and again, and again. And then you kill your own credibility. Like, if they were to come out and say, oh, sorry, we got it wrong, and our source wasn't accurate, we apologize. But they're going on the idea that, while people are stupid, they'll never look into it for themselves. Well, I think those days are kind of dead and gone, because I think what's happening is kind of an awakening that they don't want, where the people are looking into it. Look at how many liberals today are complaining about their own side, saying, hey, you know what? We did this. We forced the rise of the alt-right. We got this neo-Nazi guy now running the show. And it's our fault, nobody else's. Why did that happen? Because we didn't listen to the other side at all. And because we didn't listen to the other side, now we have Donald Trump as the president. That's partially right. That's partially right. That's not the full thing. Because they don't know that most of the white people that voted for Donald Trump voted for Obama. So either a whole part of your population turned into neo-Nazis overnight, according to the mainstream media, which if you think that's believable, that's fine. Or there's more to the story than they're letting us know, and that story is telling us something very, very, very clear. The mainstream media is getting caught in its lies, and people don't want that anymore. And because they don't want that, you have Donald Trump as a president. And because that's what Donald Trump campaigned on. Now, keeping the promises, again, Trump, one thing about, unlike Obama or anything, Trump will not have apologists on his side to a great degree. There will be some, sure. But he won't have very many, because people are, they took a chance on him. They're like, he better come through. He better do what he says he was going to do. So, all that stuff. So, anyway, I'm going to leave it here. It's interesting to see how this game is playing out and how they're trying to double down and do damage control. So, anyway, I'll leave it at that. But if you like this kind of content, please consider making a donation channel. Links down below. Thank you so much to everybody who has. Next time, rate, subscribe, share, comment, like. Be true to yourself. Be true to others. Always do the right thing. And have yourselves a great day. All right, good day, hi, and welcome over here at the hall again. I know you guys can't see me. I'm going to do my favorite camera angle. Hope you guys like it. I know you guys love this angle, so... all right, so I just want to cover a few things about how the mainstream media is really doubling down in their lies, like to the point where we don't really know what's truth anymore. You really, 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 and I mean, I'm not the only one who says it. There's a lot of people saying it. A lot of people keep telling me, Reg, don't listen to the mainstream media ever. I say no, don't do that. I say do listen to the mainstream media for one reason and one reason only, and that is to see what they're lying about. Lies of today. Donald Trump is going to give security clearance to his son. Is that true? Well, apparently it's not. So why is the mainstream media running for that? Lying by omission. They won't talk about how Donald Trump is not going to take basically a salary for being president. That's $400. He's giving up $400,000 a year now. To a billionaire, that's not much. But when we look at it from a point of view of the gesture, I think again only 3 presidents in U.S. history forfeited their wage. One of them wasn't Obama. I think it was J. Edgar Hoover, and the other one was John F. Kennedy, and the third one is Donald Trump. So why is this important? Well, it is and it isn't. What's important is how the mainstream media is really doubling down on their lies, and why they're still trying to run it, the way they were, and think they're going to get away with it. Now, what we knew, that Donald Trump won the Electoral College and Hillary Clinton the day after was reported to have won the popular vote. Well, it turns out Donald Trump actually may have won both. Now, I know for sure he won both if you factor in all the dead people that voted and all the illegals that Obama gave amnesty to vote for, which I don't know if he could legally do that, but he did. So it's very, very clear that now that they've tallied it up, it looks like Trump has a slight lead. And I get this from the X22 report, so you'll have to investigate it because maybe I'm wrong. But the backlash that's coming is going to be against the people. It's always against the people when you really think about it. One of the areas where it's going to be against the people is, quite simply put, right now, remember Obama gave the United Nations the keys to the internet